Vikings are headed to the playoffs. The Packers are not. Let's go. Well, there's not a lot of times that we find ourselves actually cheering for the Lions in our division, but when they play the Packers, how can you not, right? And it was pretty sweet to see them take them down, push the Seahawks into the playoffs, and pretty much, honestly, embarrass them at home at Lambeau after they embarrassed us at Lambeau. I would take that over what happened to the Packers. We're in playoffs. That game means nothing. That game's over. But the Packers game, that was their playoffs, and they lost it. So it's good to see. You agree?
Absolutely. Anytime we get to see the Packers lose, it is a great day. There's no question about that. And if we had the opportunity to go back, and let's say we can beat the Packers in that game, but they still make the playoffs, I'm keeping it the way it is. I like how it happened. Get them out of there. Let the Lions embarrass them. Yeah, great time to be a Vikings fan.
Yeah, the Lions have been like scary as of late, and they're obviously like that game meant nothing for them. They're not in the playoffs, but the end of their season they were playing pretty well. So yeah, it was good to see them beat the Packers. So
Yeah, they
never beat the Vikings. I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, no, they're not going to. But the Vikings, they did convincingly beat the other division rival and the Bears this week. That was a no-doubter.
Yeah. We all knew that was going to happen. There
right.
wasn't, and they didn't even start their quarterback. So
yeah,
which we
Clearly,
thought
that's intentional, obviously, right? They just wanted the number one pick. They wanted to lose going in. They weren't like Houston.
I don't think they completely threw the game on purpose, but they weren't going to risk injuring their starting quarterback. So no reason to start him.
Yeah, not sure what Josh is talking about saying they didn't start their starter. I saw Peterman out there. Greatest quarterback in the NFL. Let's be real here. But no, the Vikes had a great day all around. Their only weak spot, I'd say, was their run game. They let up quite a bit of work to Herbert and Montgomery, and Vilas Jones got a little work at the end. But I'd like to point out KJ Osborne starting off the game with a big reception. Finished the day with 5 for 177. I've been saying it time and time again. I think that guy is a star in the making. We just need to keep feeding him the ball because he is awesome.
He's gonna have a good playoffs. He's gonna have a good postseason. He's been ramping it up at the end of the season, so I think his time to shine will be this postseason when everyone's all over Jefferson and Hawkinson. Like KJ Osborne's gonna.
Yeah, and I mean, he's going to be – you kind of feel like he'll go into the postseason being a wide receiver too? I mean, he's been getting the ball and touches more than Thielen lately.
Yeah, that's kind of what it started to feel like recently. We've kind of seen a shift in the energy in that wide receiver locker room. I think they're both going to have their own big games. I think it's more a wide receiver 2A, 2B situation than a 2 and a 3.
Right.
Yeah, and I think too, I don't know what the actual stats are and what their snap percentage is between the two of them, but I think it's pretty even all the time anyway. So Alex, go like this. There you go.
Look at that flow, Alex.
Thank you.
Josh just wanted Alex to run his fingers.
Know, man. You didn't feel it or something. I don't know. It was there and it was obvious and it was distracting me.
It was exciting for me. I enjoyed it. I mean, everybody really got a lot of touches that we don't always see in the game. So that's the only reason maybe KJ Osborne isn't going to go into the playoffs to me as wide receiver 2, because if they really saw him as that 2A so much or that 2B, why were they giving him the ball so much, and having him, or was he just I guess he just had a few good plays, but
at the end of the day,
I think they're
game, right?
We've been talking. They're just they are becoming a pass first offense, and looking at the rush game too. I mean, the rush game was terrible, and we were talking about Dalvin Cook's struggles and stuff as of late, and he had a terrible game again. So again, just averaging around 3 yards a carry. And Madison, he's scoring the touchdowns now. So anyway, our wide receivers are dangerous, man. We got Kirk's got so many amazing targets right now. So going into this postseason game, we're ready to go. And the Giants defense is terrible. We should actually move on to talking about the Giants at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless there's anything else you guys have to touch on the Bears game.
We have moved on to the postseason. No more
Yes.
Bears game talk.
The regular season is over. We've ended
Yeah.
13-4. I think everybody's happy with that, even though you look at it and there's still some flaws with this team on our side defensively. I know there's flaws on a lot of teams, but being 13-4 feels pretty good. I think if we would
13
have
and
said that,
4, but talking about that defense, remember we ended the season with a negative point differential. So
yeah,
that'll
13 and
probably
4 big losses.
13 and 4, and like we had, I think it was like negative 3 points was like the differential. So, and we were like the only
Yep.
team to do that in NFL history. And
Really?
fortunately, the Giants also, their record is not 13 and 4, but they have a, I think, negative 6 point differential on the season. So they're also going into the playoffs with a negative point differential. So if we're going to go play a team, I'm glad it's them.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into the playoffs and let me just get surface level. What is your emotion, your excitement? How are you feeling, Alex? I'll start with you. Like, we are there. We've been waiting all year. This has felt like the team. What's your level of excitement going into playoffs? Nervous or just fully excited?
We are a grab bag of all emotions right now. There's a lot of hope and excitement. We've seen a lot of really great highs this season from the Vikings, like the Bills game and the Colts comeback and whatnot. But we've also seen some absolute valleys in the Cowboys, the Packers.
The
So I'm
Eagles.
really torn right now, and I'm really feeling that it's either a first round exit or it's all the way with this group.
I like it. Josh?
Yeah, I will say I'm nervous a little bit. I'm not. I really. I mean, it's just nerves because it's it's do or die at this point. So, going into this game, we have another scary NFL record, which is we had 11 games this year that we won by one score, right? That's including the last minute field goal where we won against the Giants. So
Yeah.
like
Thank you, Greg.
yes, thank you, Greg. But like we don't want to be like anywhere near that close in these playoff games. So, and the Giants, like I mean, we almost went into overtime. So against them. So, and who knows what would have happened then. So yeah, there are some nerves, but I think we're ultimately the better team. So there's definitely some stuff we have to work on. But yes,
with
Alex.
so many one score games, I feel like that can be looked at as a negative. You want to be beating teams by as many points as possible, but I think it's also really important to have experience winning close games and knowing how to close those games out, which I think we've done obviously a great job all season, and I think that's really important for the playoffs.
I mean, that's a lot of scary experience. But all right.
It's a good way to really know what it's like to have to come back, and they clearly know what it's like to have Kirk O'Change come out in the fourth quarter. Hopefully, we don't have to have that, but if we get in the situation where we're down 2 touchdowns with 8 minutes left in the game, they're not giving up. Where there's a lot of teams that are
I
going to
don't
be like,
mind being
it's over.
I don't mind being like up by one score all the time because it adds a little excitement, but I don't like being down. So
Yeah.
it's just it gets scary. So
Well, my level of excitement is okay, let me just step back to the Colts game because at halftime of that Colts game was like my low of low. I was like, I had so much positivity going into that game. I was so positive they were going to win. Even halfway through the first quarter, I was like, it's okay, they're coming back. And by halftime, I'll admit it, first time in a long time, I've always tried to be a pretty positive Minnesota sports fan. I was done. I was like, this is it. It's over. They lose this game. They get blown out by the Colts. I'm out. I was pissed. And I was at the game, obviously, and they came back and won, and that's now my belief for the rest of the season. They talk about some of these teams that just are destined to win, and that game felt like it made us destined to win. And with JJ having a career year, pulling out the Randy Moss afro in the last game, oh my goodness, like it just feels like the year to me. I have like way too much confidence, way more than I know I should have as a Minnesota sports fan, and I have a lot of people that I know, obviously, that are sports fans here in Minnesota that are not.
Other sports fans in Minnesota.
Yeah, but if I took all of the people I know that follow the Vikings, I would say that are fans of the Vikings, not just follow them. I would say 90% of them are like, Yeah, they could go out in the first round. That's how I'm feeling.
That's experience, Cole. That's
Right, I
experience of being
know,
a
I
Vikings
know.
fan. That's what
And
that
that's
is. Like,
how I would have felt coming into this if I had not been at that Colts game. Just seeing them come back and win that, it feels like this is meant to be. And if they lose in the first round, from here on out, I will be disappointed playoff Twins, Vikings, Wild, Timberwolves fan.
I'm tempering my expectations. I don't want to be let down too hard.
Kicking has kind of been an issue. Would you guys agree? I mean, yes, we had that 61-yard field goal, but he missed another extra point and a couple field goals recently. I mean, that's where I'm very nervous about. How are you feeling about Greg Joseph?
I mean,
Is that going to happen again?
We've had good kickers before, and they've been let go, and or they've missed like clutch field goals and been let go,
Yep.
and then they've done well on other teams. Like Daniel Carlson's, he's one of the top kickers in the league now. He plays for the Raiders now. We let him go for missing a clutch field goal. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want to say it, but it's like it's a curse. And it's like, it might like, you just never know. We could have the best kicker in the league, and okay, I think we should move on to talking about both of these teams' defenses.
Okay, let's talk about the defense, because that is not what we are the best at in the league.
No. So we are
barrel.
the second worst in the league. Like, we are ranked 31st of 32 teams on defense. Fortunately, the Giants are up there with us. They're in there. They're in like the high 20s or something. I don't know. But when we played them, they had some clutch injuries. So that might be something, or some key injuries. That might be something we need to watch, because they might get some players back who they didn't have, and they were in their secondary. I think it was a safety and a defensive back that will directly affect Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. So it's Xavier McKinney and is it Adoree
Jackson? Adoree Jackson. Yep.
Adoree Jackson. Yeah. So they both might be back. I think they are both playing at this point.
I don't know if Jackson's practiced yet. Last I saw.
Okay.
But they said the same thing going in the last game. I remember we were talking about Jackson maybe coming back. But if he's in there, that's clearly. Is that an issue, you think, Josh? Or?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to have one of their starters back in the backfield, and that's we're a passing team. We have we're looking for Justin Jefferson, we're looking for TJ Hawkinson, Thielen, Osborne. Like, we don't want them to have like a really healthy. I looked up this. The Giants' defense is ranked number 1 in blitz percentage. They blitz like 30-something% of the time, and they like put a ton of pressure on QBs, and our offensive line is like super beat up right now and struggling.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. We better hope that we have some healed offensive linemen out there ready to go, because
the replacements better step up, because Brian O'Neill's out. That's for sure. I think he's done for the season, so he's out, and so we'll have a replacement in for him. Plus, Garrett Bradbury's still a question mark. I don't know if he's in or not. I hope he's in. He's been out a while, so we don't want to see another third string disaster happen like last.
Yeah, I think that we played them and we lost by 1 score, and we're going to play them again. I think we're going to win. Probably by 1 score
we
again,
won
but
by
I think
score. Yeah.
But I think that wait, what?
You said we lost by 1 score. We won by 1 score.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? We won by 1 score.
Yes.
They lost by 1 score. Anyway, we're hopefully going to win again, but I think we're going to see like a different defense. Like, their defense is going to be probably a little better than the last time we saw them. So,
do you have anything to add on defense, Alex? Are you worried about Bradbury out? If he's out?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we'd love to have him back. We saw some hiccups against the Packers when, what's his name? Who came in to replace him in the Packers game? Last week was a lot better against the Bears, a lot more of a clean game. So hopefully that Giants defense doesn't terrorize us again. But God, I don't even know with this O-line. It's been such a headache the past couple weeks, and just constant pressure all year, really. So hopefully they can figure something out in practice this week, game plan for that extra pressure that the Giants send, and when you send pressure,
it's gonna come down to the O line, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's gonna come down.
And keep an eye on Dexter Lawrence too. I know on there. I think if we have Bradbury out, Lawrence is gonna make some statements and have a few sacks, and he can really power up through the middle. I was reading, so he makes me nervous watching footage. But yeah, I don't know. O-line's going to be a big one. What about our defense? I think everybody's healthy for the most part now on our defense that we need out there. Their offense, what scares you the most besides Saquon Barkley, obviously?
Daniel Jones, he's been having a good end of the season, and he's always a threat running. So I guess that would be it. But I don't know. I'm not really trying to remember that the Giants game there. They did have a couple receivers. I think was it Darius Slayton and
yeah.
Somebody
Richie
else went
James.
off on us. Yeah. But
there's another guy. What was his name? But
it doesn't matter.
No, if they're not named Saquon
it won't matter
Barkley,
after this week.
I'm not worried.
Yeah. I'm worried about their running game. I'm worried about
Yep.
Saquon Barkley. I'm worried about Saquon Barkley getting passes out of the backfield. And I'm worried that even if we put pressure on Daniel Jones, he's still going to run for first down. And
yeah. Well, we've had lots of talk about Jefferson as MVP. Let's talk about Jefferson in the game a little bit. And first of all, I guess let's talk about MVP really quick. His odds in Vegas are plus 10,000 to win the MVP. It's really starting to look like Mahomes is going to walk away with it. Do you guys agree? Is there anything you want to add on any Jefferson MVP talk yet? Did he miss it by not breaking the record?
I think if he broke the record, like he definitely would have been, but I still he had such a great season. I don't know. I think it should be definitely a tighter race between him and Mahomes, but
yeah,
I can't believe
Burrow and Allen, and it's all quarterbacks and Jefferson, really, right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody else. McCaffrey maybe could. There's not really any other non-quarterbacks that's up there, is there in your mind? So they should have 2 MVPs. They should have a quarterback MVP and then an overall MVP that's non-quarterback or something. That's what they should.
What's funny is Patrick Mahomes playing well isn't anything new, so you kind of just forget about it. So when they're like, oh, Patrick Mahomes, you're just you look at someone like Justin Jefferson who's such a standout, you're like, wait, how can he not be the MVP? And you're like, oh yeah, I guess every year Patrick Mahomes is just awesome. But yeah.
All right, well, hopefully we don't see double coverage or triple coverage on Jefferson like they almost had in the Packers game.
No, we want triple coverage on Jefferson. They just throw the ball to Osborne and Hawkinson. They'll be wide open.
Do that all day.
But that, Giants.
Yeah.
Listen to our podcast.
Yeah. Okay, well, we play them at home. Hopefully that gives us an advantage. Let's kind of look at the playoff.
The Vikings are 8-1 at home. So, I would say that it's going to be a big advantage.
The only one is that Cowboys.
Whatever.
Loss.
It doesn't even matter. They're going to lose in the first round to the Buccaneers. So
I'm staying positive. That's right. All right. Okay, so we gotta beat the Giants. Do we agree? I think they're going to beat the Giants at home. I feel pretty good about it. I don't even think it's necessarily going to be a 1-score game. I think we're going to pummel them. I feel good.
I don't know about pummel.
How do you feel? I do. I think
you want a prediction? Are you asking what our prediction is?
Let's do some predictions.
I'm gonna say because their defenses are so bad, it's gonna be a somewhat high scoring game. I think probably will be a 1-score game. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say the Giants are on a downward spiral. They've lost 5 of their last 8 games, and I think since we're 8-1 at home, we have a huge advantage. It's gonna be 31-27 Vikings.
Alex, do we see a repeat of the last matchup? What do you think?
I think it's going to be close. I think we're going to see a repeat in the result, but I feel like it's going to be a much different game. I'm going 27-17 Vikings. I think it's going to be competitive towards the end, but I think the last 10 minutes of the game, everyone's going to kind of know where that one's finishing up at.
Yeah. I'm gonna go kind of a little mix of both of your scores, actually. I'm going 31-17. That's my Vikings, obviously. Oh. Let me just clarify. But the last time I said the Vikings were going to lose, they did win, so that is a good sign. So maybe I should have picked the Giants, but either Seattle or San Francisco. If the Seahawks win, then we get that home field, right, Alex? So that'd be huge.
Yeah, but they're not going to win. We have to be realists.
No, I mean, they very certainly can. It's the NFL. Niners are 2-0 against the Seahawks this season, playing, I think, early in the season and towards the end of the season. And both times, Niners looked like they were pretty fully in control. But it's a good scrappy Seahawks team. It's not going to be an easy game for them, and it would be absolutely huge if the Seahawks can beat them, because then we get a home game against either the Bucks or the Cowboys, the winner of that game, and if the Niners end up winning, then we have to go out to San Francisco. So I think it's going to be a huge advantage for us if they can pull that out. But I think it's going to be a close game. I think that one's going to be the one to watch that weekend.
It'd be pretty amazing if we saw the 49ers and the Eagles fall. 49ers fall in the first round, Eagles fall in the second round, get home field all the way through. I'd take that all day. That's like the ideal scenario, obviously, but do you think that it's actually possible? Like,
Oh,
can the
100%.
Eagles fall to the Cowboys or the Bucks? Is that just a hey, it's the NFL, anything can happen, or do you think the Eagles have been slowly getting worse? Is Hurts fully healthy? What are you feeling on that side?
It's definitely the NFL, and anything can happen. That's a constant. It's always going to be that. But I mean, we've seen a few times that this Eagles team has looked questionable. They don't look like impenetrable. I mean, it was the Commanders that gave them their first loss, and it's like, if the Commanders can beat them, I think any playoff team can beat them. So it's definitely a possibility.
What about on the AFC side? What's kind of run through your predictions there quick. I'll start with you, Josh. How are you feeling? Just kind of run through the divisional round. Who do you think's going to walk away there?
I
Or
guess,
go
yeah.
home?
I'll say on my tech, I'm just blowing up right now. I'm super popular. Sorry, you
You
can hear
are.
all these texts. Yeah, let me mute this.
I'm guessing the twin signed Correa.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's his agent was letting me know before anybody.
That he passed his physical.
Yeah, we filmed this the night of 9th.
Yeah.
So I'm just getting texts from you.
Yeah.
I guess, we got like the Bills and Kansas City are, the two teams on that side to beat. So, and the Bengals, I guess. I'm not actually even sure. This is sad, but I'm not even sure what happened with that game. I know they canceled the game. I'm not sure how that affected the seeding. Did they ever explain that? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that came out of it was if I think it was the Chiefs Bills play, it's going to be at a neutral site. No one's going to be
Yeah.
the home team. I think that was the only caveat, right?
And I think it was also
I'm
gonna be that with the Bengals, but then didn't the Bengals end up losing in week 18? So then it kind of didn't really make as big of a difference. So there's something about it. There could be a neutral site game in the championship. That's all I know. I can't remember exactly how it works, but let me just I think we all agree that Kansas City and Buffalo are the teams to beat. Let's say those two teams lose in their first game. Who are the teams that you think could be in the championship? Let's just wild speculation here. Who's going to be there?
I mean,
If it's
Bengals
not
are
Chiefs Bills.
the Bengals are dangerous, man. I'm not like super worried about like it's going to be the Jags and the Chargers are like the two teams that they're playing against each other, and I don't think anyone's worried about them. So it would be weird if one of them beat like Kansas City and then they went on to the AFC Championship. But
I'm gonna respectfully disagree with that one.
he's going to talk about the Jaguars. Yeah,
is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have been red
Lawrence.
hot recently. Lawrence is looking good. That offense is clicking. I think they're gonna make it to the AFC Championship, and that's where they'll go out. I think it's probably gonna be Bills or Chiefs with them, but they're gonna be my sneaky little dark horse for the playoffs.
Did you see the video of the guy with the mullet like playing in Jacksonville, like on the national anthem on his guitar? Look it up. Hilarious.
Oh, definitely have to check that out.
They had some guy come out with like these like wraparound sunglasses and a mullet and like a Jags jersey on, and he had like an American flag electric guitar and just like belted out the national anthem, and it was received very well.
Love it. Yeah. Well, let's save the Super Bowl final predictions for a future podcast, because who knows what's going to happen at the. I don't know. Throw it out there. Who's your pick? Just give me one pick. Don't.
No. We'll save
one.
it. We'll say we don't want to give everyone like we don't want to spoil
give me one
for everybody
before playoffs start. I want one team. If it's the Vikings, great. For me, it's the Vikings. I'll start. Vikings Super Bowl. Let's go.
Okay,
make your pick.
I don't have to pick a team they're playing against.
You can't take the Vikings. Can't take the Vikings. I already took them. Everyone's got to have a different team.
I'll go Bills. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs.
All right. Alex gets third pick.
He's gonna pick the
Stay in the
Jags.
train, keep the Jags. But
Oh, I
if
like it.
if we're going that they're my dark horse. I think they're more the long shot. But if we're talking realistically, I think the Bengals have a really good shot at it. I really
All
like
right.
them.
Well, get to see Joe Burrow
They are
back in
coming
there.
off a heartbreak season, so it would be
Yes,
nice
they
to
are.
see. Yeah.
They're going
Yep.
on their revenge tour.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to add on the upcoming game against the Giants, or are we just pretty stoked and excited and we'll be watching the game? Maybe we'll head down to the game. Who knows? Stay
Might
tuned.
make an appearance.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that the Packers are watching from their couch. That's all I care about.
I'm just happy to be
I
here.
agree. That's a
Just
good way
happy
to
to be
end it. I'm glad that I'm going to be watching in the same position that all the players in the Packers are, out of the playoffs. Suck it, Packer fans. We know you've won a Super Bowl. We get it. We'll get there, and then we're going to have all of the legs to stand on. You guys lost to the Lions when you could have made it to the playoffs. We lost to the Lions. We still made the playoffs. Doesn't matter. But make sure you guys like and subscribe to our channel if you're Vikings fans. We'll be doing all kinds of updates throughout the playoffs. We'll be posting some videos on our Twitter. Check out our Instagram, TikTok, and yeah, Skol Vikes.